I already told you that the Quest 3 battery life sucks, often clocking in under 2 hours on this thing, even if I'm doing VR or MR. But a new discovery is that the solutions that we've been used to for a long time with the Quest 2 are no longer working even on the Quest 3. And the Elite straps are already breaking, but not the way we're used to. When the Quest 2 dropped, we were shocked by battery life because people on the Quest 1 had been getting 3 hours, dropped to 2.5. People were upset about that, but they said the Quest 3 is gonna be about the same time. Now I'm finding I'm getting under 2 hours. Some people are reporting close to 2 hours, but even Meta's own promised time is about 2 hours and 12 minutes, which I would say even 20 minutes lower is still a drop. We were used to having to deal with extending the battery on the Quest 2, and so we thought, okay, it's gonna be easy. I've got my old battery bank. I've got 10,000 milliamp hour battery packs. Those are gonna work great to get the Quest 3 all the hours of life it needs. We've discovered in testing, it's being echoed on Reddit a little bit, other places, a lot of our current solutions are not powerful enough to keep the Quest 3 going. People have this thing dying when it's plugged in. People have it dying with their battery pack still having over half the power. This Quest Pro strap had this in the back that attached with 10,000 milliamp hours of battery. I did a test where I shoved this thing in the back, I had it plugged in, my headset completely died, and I still had over 50% left on this battery pack. How is the Quest 3 so thirsty for power? We know that the Quest 3 has a much more powerful chipset in it, but an interesting fact in the iFixit teardown, we learned that it had 19.44 watt-hour battery in it versus the 14 that was in the Quest 2. That's about a 39% increase in battery, and yet we're getting almost 20% less time on the Quest 3. So that means if you've got 14 watt-hours and you're getting about 2.5 hours here, you're using about 5 watt-hours per hour. Again, remember, watt-hours don't actually mean real-life hours. The Quest 3 at nearly 20 is only getting 2, so it's using almost 10 watt-hours. So roughly, that's twice the power consumption happening on the Quest 3, which can make a little sense if you look at also, you got an 18-watt charger versus a 10-watt charger that came with the Quest 2. But this is where the big problem lies. If it's consuming approximately double the power and all the solutions we made for the Quest 2 are being carried forward and trying to be used on the Quest 3, they are faltering in having enough power to keep it running. Most of us were used to a Quest 2 that you could slap a battery on. It would even charge up a little while maintaining its power and being able to be used for unlimited amounts of time. Now, what I'm finding with the Quest 3, if you already had it charged, it may maintain power for a while, but there's anomalies happening too, and it's inconsistent. But sometimes I'm draining whole battery packs in minutes. A comment showed up on one of my videos and said, hey, I noticed my battery packs are draining in minutes sometimes depending on the game I'm playing. And that's what led me down this whole rabbit hole of testing for hours and hours, link cables and battery packs and everything I could to figure out what's happening on the Quest 3. So depending on how demanding the game is, it may or may not be charging up, and it may be draining batteries super fast, and you don't notice that until it's low. That compounds into the next problem. If you're down to 10 or 15% on this thing, even if you plug it into the wall, it may still die on you. It may die on you whether you have all kinds of power banks and everything, because it does not maintain or up that percentage with most of the Quest 2 solutions. Now, to those of you who use the Oculus own link cable with the PC with Quest 2, this problem may not feel terribly unfamiliar because the Quest 2 would still drain. Not quite as fast, but it would drain while you were on PC, and it could die and you'd have to stop playing. There are solutions out there that even have their own power brick that goes to the cable that would help charge this up when it was on PC. And with Quest 3, I'm still seeing it drain battery. But when I even try to use something like Oculus own Elite cable, this thing is dropping percentage faster wired than it was wireless. Unfortunately, in all this testing, the one thing that has not been sent out yet, I haven't been able to get one, is Oculus own Elite strap for the 3. And a lot of people were upset. They said, oh, the 2 had its own Elite strap. Why couldn't they have just made adapters? Maybe there's some reason we have to have new battery technology, so they couldn't have brought that strap forward. But my other concern is, did they know that this needed new battery specifications in the Oculus Elite strap? Or did they possibly carry forward the same technology? And we're gonna find as people start getting more of these Quest 3s and playing them longer, that maybe the battery straps aren't up to snuff. Chris B Tech dropped a video not only of his issues with an Elite strap dying 3 days after purchasing.
Headset 94%, extended battery 0%, but actually the extended battery is at 100% because I haven't been using it, and you can see it gives you the symbol, external battery connected, and then it just disappears, it's gone.
But Meta actually replying saying there's an issue and they're working on a fix. A lot of people in comments on his video, on videos of mine, and of course on Reddit saying the same thing or other issues that they've had with the Meta Quest Elite battery strap. Sometimes it's not showing the percentage inside the headset, sometimes it's showing it and disappearing. Sometimes it's claiming the percentage is way lower inside the headset than the battery actually has on it. Some people are saying an unplug and a replug may fix those issues, but it sounds like these battery issues we're finding so far are not gonna be just third-party problems. On top of that, people talking about how their Elite straps are losing battery if they just leave them sitting there unplugged, or the headset is losing battery when it's sitting aside just waiting to be played. So what's happening is more people are walking into headsets that are low on battery, dead, and then they have to wait to charge them to play it. And the last thing we need in VR is people getting new VR headsets and every time they go to play them, finding them dead, not being able to use them, and having that issue where they can't just slap a battery on, turn it on, and play. And that's only if their Meta head strap is still working after 3 days of use. With all that, I'm getting at my wit's end with this. I've spent hours and hours of days upon days now. It's pushed everything back I'm trying to get done because I've had to spend so much time testing. And something like battery, when you don't have actual electrical equipment to figure out what is happening inside of it, it's literally swapping batteries, it's swapping cables, it's playing different games for hours to try and see which games are causing these issues. And weirdly, the most reliable ones seem to be Beat Saber Expert Plus. Pistol Whip was where I first saw the issue, and then Red Matter with all of its technical prowess and how beautiful it is. Those are some of the ones that I've been able to drain batteries super fast or still drain the headset while it's plugged into something. And it's not just a particular strap or battery pack. I've tested this with multiple different setups and I keep running into these issues. That's where for further technical analysis of what this is, I'm hoping if some other channels see these issues, electrical channels maybe.
And 1, 2, 3, 4.
Someone who has the capacity to either tear it down. It's beyond my scope, but for now we can try to talk about what solutions there are in the meantime for those of us who need our headsets to last. If you're someone out there who already got the Meta battery strap and you're having these issues, it's less than a month old, so you have a couple options. You could just return it. You could contact Meta and see if they offer a solution. Some people have said they're replacing theirs. Or you could of course hold out and see if there is a fix like they're saying, although I personally wouldn't hold out longer than your return window just in case. This BoboVR strap just came out. I'm still working on the review. I will say for the most part, it's consistently at least holding the battery at whatever percentage I put it on until it gets that unpredictable thing. And if it drains the battery too fast and I don't notice, all of a sudden I'm getting the low headset warning before I realize, oh crap, I should have switched the battery. As much as I don't love having to have something on my neck, this is one of the only batteries the JayBratt one in testing that maintained battery, could even slightly charge the headset while playing, and didn't drain super fast. The included charger, depending on the game, will usually at least maintain the battery. If the battery's low, it might also charge it up, but if the battery's close to full, you're not gonna see much more of the percentage go up. Again, your mileage may vary depending on what games you're playing and which cables you're using, but the nice thing, obviously I had this super short cable I was trying to play on, that was terrible. I was able to swap this out with even the Oculus own link cable and use that and then continue playing as long as it was with this 18-watt charging block. You could experiment with charging blocks if you have more of your own that are higher wattage, which I haven't, but a lot of the other previous solutions that some of us had just may not work for you. They may extend the battery time, but you might find your headset still dies when you have a bunch of juice left on your power bank. Down to 59%. And for people who have used these or even bought these for their Quest 2, those not rolling forward is probably gonna be frustrating. This is obviously a pretty new and early discovery. I've spent a whole week now trying to figure this out. So if you're out there and you're starting to have these issues, you found this video, if you have solutions, drop them in the comments too for other people who show up trying to figure this out. And who knows, there could be updates on the side of Meta that could help make this or make a difference. But it's not something you wanna see a week out the gate that's gonna start giving people trouble. And especially as it's been a problem that I mostly discovered because of the BoboVR batteries. And these things, because of all the issues they've had with Amazon, haven't really shipped that many places. Once people actually start getting these at homes, we may start to see more people realizing their batteries aren't keeping up. And that could really not be great news if you have a ton of BoboVR batteries that you rely on for multiple headsets to keep them all charged. Like when we were at that VR zone, we ran headsets all day because we could just hot swap battery after battery after battery. And if that's not gonna work, that could be a problem. So with that, I'd love to know out there, how are you feeling? Did you already get your Quest 3? Are you noticing the battery life? Have you been using a battery that worked? Maybe drop what particular model it is in the comments down below so people who are looking for a battery will know this one is keeping it charged or it's even charging it up. And especially I know a lot of people are struggling with the link cables because that's been an issue for a long time with the Quest 2. If your link cable is actually charging, drop one in the comments too. It's not something we want to see one week in, but we'll keep you posted as this develops more and as we learn more with more testing. But I'm Gotta tell you, I'm honestly completely exhausted from fighting with this for the last week. We'll have more videos, we got accessory stuff to test, we'll have more coming at you, but I'm tired. And I don't wanna be seeing VR have issues that are gonna slow us down. So hopefully this gets fixed quick, if it can be. Or we have to get new accessories, I don't know. I don't know that part yet. But thank you for being here with me once again, and I will see you in another reality.